One of these forums recently where they were talking about tourism like this. So I would ask this question while I start taking questions from the audience. Please, you can either write it somewhere so that I read it out, or you indicate so that the mic will come to you. But as the audience is getting ready with their questions, I want to ask, at the forum, you said innovative financing, equity. Somebody said blended financing, and I was like, okay, what does a successful financing for tourism, public-private financing, what does it look like for brands who are really working in the hospitality and tourism sector? What does a successful financing look like?
Okay, I'll just go with that. So, I think what happens mostly in the hospitality industry is you find people taking short-term loans to fund long-term investments. And it comes back to proper advisory. Because if you take short-term loans to finance long-term investments, what happens is you get suffocated as a business. So what happens invariably is, if you are able to get investors from an angel investor perspective, people that have interest in that entire industry, then you can attract low funds. Because when you get low funds, what you see happen is you find people that grow with you. And what I also noticed, there are a lot of people out there that are willing to fund investments. But what we find is you don't have people with the right information. Are people even putting up quality pitch decks? For instance, I was chatting with Stella earlier, and I said, someone wants to invest in a theme park. But guess what? They don't have information. I listened to Mr. Samuel from Ogbu. 2 weeks ago, there was a debate about Ogbu in a group because someone did a video showing how run down Ogbu is. But now, listening to him, I'm very excited. And for me, it's actually special because I left the tourism space over a decade ago, or about a decade ago. Now, but I'm still interested in the space, always trying to find out. So whenever I hear things happening, I'm interested. So listening to him say, what I also see, there's a big gap in communication. So if there's a way we can put quality pitch decks together and focus on tourism as an asset class, not as a tourist attraction, then what happens is you find out people start to come with creative solutions. I like what the man from Nanta has been, by the way. I heard what he said. I even was part of that story about what happened in the event you guys went out of the country. But what's happening is this: there are a lot of people that are interested. There are a lot of people that are ready to invest, and the government is also ready. I spoke to a lady from BOI yesterday. She said they are giving a lot of tourism loans. So how do you package it? First, you put your plans for the people. When you get that right, then show your growth plan for them as well. And at the end of the day, if you get angel investors into the business, you are not exposed to high cost of interest rates.
Thank you very much. You described it so succinctly. I heard that Pelumi is with us now, joining online. So did you catch the question? Would you want to weigh in on that? Meanwhile, please, you can indicate if you have questions so that the mic will come to you or a paper will be given to you to write it down. Okay, Pelumi, please. Please.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay. From what the last speaker just said, very clear that we don't have a information system. That's something that is definitely.
Can you be a bit louder, please?
I said if you visit places,
thank you,
Rwanda or South Africa, they have a national online portal that people can book, they can plan, and discover new experiences. Iconic sites, Rock or Idoron Hill, have updated digital. There's no verified website, no centralized ticketing system, and more important, leveraging of social media. We have brands like Ghana that has done it for the year of the return. Social media is such a powerful tool. We don't have that. I think supporting content creators on ground, even people that do it freely are getting harassed. It's hard. I remember when I was trying to actually do line within Lagos, I was told I needed a permit, not the place in London whereby I'm happy to, record anywhere, but not restrict me. So there's definitely systematic issues that allow that people being able to create content that invites people, and the government body working with content creators on ground that push this narrative out there and invite people to come and visit. So there's definitely a gap in the market.
Thank you very much for that point. So let me go to the audience now. I know you have questions. So the lady in white, when the mic comes to you, you can just tell us your name, then ask your question. Okay, just step forward. Step forward, use my mic.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much to Business Day. My name is Josephine Oshiafi. I'm the head of business development for Amber Hospitality, one of the sponsors of the conference. My question is speaking about this role of policy in developing the tourism industry. I think when we think about infrastructure, we also have to think about policy, because policies enable the growth of sectors. I think we can all agree that in terms of hospitality and tourism, the entire sector seems to be more unregulated as compared to many other sectors like finance, which is a heavily regulated space. So I just wanted to get your thoughts on the panel. What is the role of law and policy in enabling the growth of this sector? Because investors like certainty, or at least as close to certainty as they can get. If I'm a new investor entering into Nigeria, I want to develop a project or partner with someone to develop a project in that sector. What are the rules? Who are my regulators? Who's checking the hotels? How does FX policy come into play? So if you could perhaps help us bridge that gap in our understanding, it would help. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You didn't tell us your name?
Josephine Oshiafi, Head of Business Development, Amber Hospitality Services. We're a hospitality management company.
Thank you. Yeah, so who wants to take the question first?
All right. I think it's a very interesting question. Being operating hotels for almost 10 years in Lagos, we have seen a rise, we have seen some maturity coming to this. To answer your question, unfortunately, we don't really have a very stable structure when it comes to local legislative bodies. It's a bit challenging, it's a bit confusing at times, because we are dealing with multiple agencies at different times. Like, I'll name you, we have a health body that comes in, there's an environmental agency, then we have the Nigerian Nuclear Association that comes in and charges you for your baggage scanner, which is, sometimes it can be a little bizarre, but you see, again, what we do is we try to help in a way that, okay, this is something that they are also coming into terms with, so we are also providing support, because at the end of the day, we have to happily coexist in the same environment. So I think to answer the question, I see that there is a sense of maturity that is coming into the regulatory bodies, but again, it's a bit chaotic at the moment. There are too many agencies. I think there is a constant struggle in order to get this on the same wavelength. We have hotel management associations that now we are a part of. We have a voice that we are putting together to make sure that there is some sort of method to the madness that comes with it. So we are getting there, but we are not there yet. Yeah.
Thank you. We'll keep going. Willie, you want to add to that?
Yes, I wanted to say, looking around and see what happens in the Nigerian market, especially in hospitality, there is a gap, and the gap is on the standardization of what we call hotels and how we grade them and how we position the hotels. I would suggest, I don't know which body is responsible for that, but they should come with hotel graders which can actually come up with a minimum standard. If I'm speaking about minimum standards, it's not about how the tray is served to a customer, but in terms of measurements, sizes, and amenities, and everything that is considered if you need to put a rating on a hotel, such that if somebody is building a hotel, it shouldn't be Mr. Willie who wants to say his hotel is 2-star. It shouldn't be Mr. Willie who says my hotel is 5-star. But the hotel graders who are, I don't know which body is responsible for that, should take that responsibility, like what in other countries, that you cannot actually say this is a 3-star when it does not qualify to be 3-star in terms of different things that are required for it to qualify as a 3-star. But because anyone can build anything and put shiny tiles on the wall and say my hotel is 5-star. But is that a 5-star? It may not be really a 5-star. So we need to make sure we standardize by having a board. There are so many regulatory bodies in Nigeria that are into hospitality space, dealing in different things. I think it is important that they harmonize what they do so that the operators can have direction and know where they are going, because these many of these bodies, they are just after what is for themselves. At the end of the day, if you actually want to assess and see the value they bring to a unit that is operating as a hotel, it could be next to nothing, but at the end of the day, you still have to pay something to them for them to exist. Therefore, we need to see value from their side instead of having all these big names, and all those big names are actually not contributing positively to the industry as we are looking forward to it to do.
Thank you very much. Okay, do you want to weigh in, or should I take a new question? Okay, all right, please step out. Also, okay, the mic is coming. There's also someone in front there. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. Okay, so I wrote down my question, hoping I'll pass it across since I'm saying it by myself, but I'll read it a bit. The question goes as thus: what is the most practicable way to make our gateway more hospitable? That is our airport. Pain points such as excessive demands of bribe by our officers at the international airport. I speak about this because my sister was coming into the country after about 2 years being in the US. The only $100 that she had on her, customs